Hey everyone, Brandy Signs here. Today we're going to talk about concealer. Specifically the Lime Life by Alcone concealer. It's my absolute favorite concealer on the planet because first and foremost it is waterproof. You guys, if you don't have a waterproof concealer, you are missing out. You can use this concealer as foundation during the summer, which I love to do. It's one of my absolute favorite things. And it's cry proof, sweat proof. It is everything proof. It's not going to go anywhere once you've set it. These are 6 out of the 7 foundations that Lime Life has to offer. Notice there is a green one and an orange based one, very light to very dark. We actually have one that's actually even darker, this color. Actually, that's not the right color. Oh yes, it is. So here's what I like to do. I like to take the lightest one, and I'm going to literally take that much foundation. Can you see? There's a very little foundation on there. I am going to put it on my palette here. You can actually see it better there. Very little foundation. It's not foundation, it's concealer. Sorry guys. I like to use my fingers to apply this concealer. My fingers warm up the concealer because, like our foundation, it is a wax based. So I like to just kind of dip my fingers and then I'll rub them together to warm it up a little bit more. I start right here in the corners of my eyes. I'm going to use this as a highlighter. So we're just going to pat and pull that concealer right where we want it. I like to go right over the lids also. I have a little bit of a pinkness on my lids that I like to cover up. So we're just moving that about the face. And once it warms up, it moves pretty easily. I'm not pulling it really hard. These are very soft, gentle motions. Pick up just a tiny bit more. And I'm going to go all the way down to the nose. And all the way out. Just highlighting right under the eyes to kind of wake you up. It makes a very dramatic difference to just do a little bit of that. It's funny how a little bit of concealer will go a very long way. And like I said, this is all cry proof, sweat proof. You're not going to notice any movement from this. However, I will say that if you use too much product, you will notice that it will pool in your fine lines. Once you set this product, get it out of those fine lines, set it, and you can set it with a powder, a translucent powder, or you can set it with a setting spray. I prefer a setting spray. My skin is somewhat dry, so when I put powder under my eyes, it tends to look a little bit crepey. So I like to use the setting spray. My favorite way to set under my eyes before I get creasing is to take a Blenderful sponge, or any sponge you like. Just spray it. Make sure I get all of those, and then just pat. This sponge gets right up in there. There you go. Super simple, quick concealer. Now, I do have a red spot on my nose. You can barely see it because of the coverage the foundation gives me, but it is still there. So in order to cover up red, you need a green concealer to correct it. So I'm just going to put the green concealer right here on my spatula. I'm going to pick a tiny bit up with just a pointed brush, and I'm just going to dab that right there on my nose, and it's gone. Super simple. That's actually was too much foundation or too much concealer for the correction I needed to make. Now let's talk contour. That probably should be a different video, but I'm going to talk about it really quickly. my favorite thing about this concealer palette, or the concealers in general, is I can use the very lightest one to do my highlighting, and I can use this darker one to do my contouring with. It works wonderfully on almost every single skin tone. And let me just show you that really quickly on one side. I'm going to scrape a little bit of this out, this darker color, just ever so slightly. Again, it does not take, these products have so much pigmentation in them that it does not take much at all to get a color payoff. So what I'm going to do is just get a smaller buffer brush, put a little bit on my brush. That's probably actually too much. Let me wipe a little bit of that off. And I'm just going to bring it right around. And I'm actually going to clean my brush off a little bit on a towel. I always have a towel handy when I'm doing makeup. And I'm just going to blend that out the same way we blended the foundation. Circular motions, friction, not pressure, right? Friction, not pressure. I'm still holding the brush further back, just blending out, turning my face just to make sure that I am completely blended. Now, you can see that it's a little bit much, so I'm just going to take my brush that I applied my foundation with on. It still has a little bit of foundation on the brush, and just kind of blend that out a little bit. Perfect, perfect contour. And it was super quick. And I totally forgot to blend this out. So let's do that also. So those of you who like a cream-based contour kit, your concealer can do all of your concealing. I have a hair right here. Sorry, guys. All of your concealing and your contouring all at the same time. Perfect. Let's just do the other side, just for symmetry. And I'll do a video just on contouring so you can see placement and all the details another day. I like to switch hands. When I'm working on my left side of my face, I like to use my left hand, because it was made for the left side of my face. Unlike the right side of my hand was not made for the left side of my face. That seems like a lot, right? But I am absolutely not concerned, because I have a foundation brush that still has foundation on it that will blend that out with no problem. Perfect. And now you have a perfect highlight and contour. And we've only used 2 products, and they're all waterproof. And now I'm going to go ahead and set everything. With a setting spray. And this is actually Lime Life's setting spray. It's called Time Setter. And I love it because it doesn't have, has a tiny bit of alcohol, but not just a ton of alcohol, so it doesn't dry your skin out. That's it. Super quick, super easy concealer, highlight, and contour. If you guys have any questions, if you need color match for foundation, send me a message. Don't forget to describe.